Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel video here on the channel, and the first Marvel video of 2021. I guess you can already tell by the title and the thumbnail that I did want to make a nice little theory video right before WandaVision came out. I have not read any reviews on WandaVision. I know the early reactions are out, but I have not read or watched any reviews on the earlier episodes. But I just want to talk about WandaVision because, as you guys know, it is my highly anticipated Disney Plus show. So without further ado, let's just get right into the theory video. With WandaVision coming out later this week, I thought about the ideas and about the way the MCU is going to be structured for the rest of this year, leading into Doctor Strange 2 of 2022. It is well documented that WandaVision is to lead into Spider-Man 3 coming later this year, supposedly and hopefully, and Doctor Strange 2 that's currently in the process of trying to get back into filming. But I have devised a few theories that could lead WandaVision into both Doctor Strange and maybe even Spider-Man 3. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. And everything that I say inside this video is just going to be my very own opinion, as you guys know that I say in every other video. So from the looks of the trailers, WandaVision looks like this weird, fresh take on the superhero genre. I think that this is my highly anticipated MCU Disney Plus show, mainly because it just seems like a very big risk. The trailers tease that there is something going on more than meets the eye. So with the show that's tackling different weird concepts and also incorporating magic and illusions, I think that I'm going to have to go with my first theory that Wanda has lost control and created this entire virtual world. Now, everybody already theorized this. Yes, Wanda, she may be doing the House of M storyline, and she may be creating this whole virtual world with people in it. But I gotta just go down the list of things that just happened to her inside of the MCU, because Wanda right now is in a state of depression. I mean, come on, in Age of Ultron, we find out that when she was kids with her and Pietro, their parents died by Tony Stark's missiles. Even though Tony had no input in that, he still manufactured them and he still built them. And then we lead into Age of Ultron. Her brother dies to the same robot that Bruce Banner and Tony Stark made. And then 5 years later, she had to kill her robot boyfriend just for Thanos to reverse time right in front of her. And then she had to watch the love of her life die in front of her twice. And then after that, she dies, and then a couple minutes later, she's fighting the guy that murdered her boyfriend right in front of her a couple seconds ago. And then after that, Tony dies, so he has a big connection to both her, Vision, and also Pietro. And she learns that she's been dead for 5 years, but it feels like 5 seconds to her. Just like the panic attacks that Peter is going through in Spider-Man Far From Home, there is no question that Wanda is not going through that same mental pain that Peter went through. So my theory is that Wanda has descended into madness, and she has created this virtual world that changes based on her emotional or mental state. As we see in the second trailer presented at Disney's Investors Day, the last shot is of Wanda and Vision holding hands looking out the window. As you can see, Vision is see-through. But this could be because he is shape-shifting right now, but I believe it is because he is transparent. I believe that Wanda, just like this world, she has recreated Vision in a way that she wanted him and the life that she always wanted with him. But with the show also leading into Doctor Strange, that leads me into my second theory. Theory number 2 is that Wanda and Doctor Strange are working together. At the end of the series, we find out that this entire show is actually a mission. Now, from what we know, there always has to be someone to guard the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's what we know from Doctor Strange, and that's what we know from the movie. I do not know this for sure, but if Wong is out doing some type of preparation for Doctor Strange 2, like gathering some different magical items to fight Mordo or the villain of that movie, or even Scarlet Witch herself, that could thus further connect the movie with the show. So without the Time Stone, I'm pretty sure one person, especially one of Stephen Strange's caliber, can protect the Sanctum by himself. So say if Stephen just wants to recruit Wanda because he sees how strong her abilities are getting, and he could be a little bit fearful of that. So he sends her to go into the world, and she sees that she's able to change it, and she doesn't want to leave, basically. So, connecting my first theory to this one, she creates Vision, and as S.W.O.R.D. catches word of this illusional world, they send agents in to try to get her. As shown in the trailer, we see Monica Rambeau meet Wanda in a creepy way, and then the first trailer shows her with red energy being thrown out of the world. Also, going back to that trailer, we see that Wanda and Vision are going to go fight for their home. But if we know anything from this trailer, especially incorporating my first theory, Wanda is reluctant to leave this fantasy world and has to fight S.W.O.R.D. with this illusional Vision. But the moment she realizes that Sword is trying to help, she then retreats to the Sanctum Sanctorum, thus ending the show on a cliffhanger with Doctor Strange asking Wanda, what did she see? Now, this could be just a pipe dream because, yes, it is a theory, and why didn't Doctor Strange go into the world himself, and why didn't Sword recruit another mystical being like Doctor Strange to go inside of the world? That leads me into my third theory. Wanda's world is actually connected to the quantum realm. Now, this theory is just so out there, but I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. But this is to explain why Doctor Strange is not the one to go into the illusion, but it is Sword. If the quantum realm / the illusional world that Wanda is in is connected, and if my theory is correct that Doctor Strange can access it, that means that the outside world maybe is vibrating at a different frequency as well as a different time speed, slower than Wanda's world. This could also explain why there are different time periods incorporated into the show as well, and also why Doctor Strange doesn't go in automatically to get her himself, because he is guarding the sanctum and time may be slower on the outside than actually inside. Now, using knowledge that we know about the quantum realm from Avengers Endgame, also Ant-Man and the Wasp, and also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., 50 years to Wanda and Vision could mean 50 minutes to Doctor Strange, or 50 years could mean 50 hours to Doctor Strange, which means 2.5 days with Wanda away. If the mission that Strange sends Wanda on is as magical or illusional as my theory suggests, she's going to need a little bit more than 24 hours. Now, when I say that Doctor Strange can access the world, I say that Doctor Strange can access it in a way that can open up a breach to let somebody in there. If he goes in there himself, who's there to watch the sanctum if Wong is away? If Wong goes in there himself and Doctor Strange is not there, who's there to watch the sanctum? So it's kind of a thing that somebody has to stay behind to watch the sanctum. Wanda is a powerful being, as Doctor Strange saw on that battlefield in Endgame when she almost destroyed Thanos. So he sends Wanda in there, but the world is connected to the quantum realm. And if you're asking, well, how come Sword can just send somebody in there? The Sanctum Sanctorum is one of the most magical things inside of New York right now. Of course, Doctor Strange or Wong is going to be trying to mask it using an illusion or something. So the Sanctum Sanctorum could be vibrating at a different frequency, like I said, different time speed, because of the fact that it's trying to hide itself from the rest of the world and trying to mask itself as not a sanctum and not a housing place for the master of the mystic arts. My fourth theory has got to be Wanda asks Doctor Strange for help. I mean, like my first theory suggests, Wanda is losing control of herself. Now, Doctor Strange is a character that has very similar powers to Wanda, maybe even more powerful than Wanda's. I highly doubt that though, but usually when people are having mental breakdowns, they'll go to therapy and ask for help from people that go through the same similar issues. So as Wanda and Doctor Strange talk about her powers growing and as she's losing control of them, he then sends her into her own mind, and as she's in her mind, the world is being constructed. The virtual world that is inhabited by Wanda and Vision is being constructed. Wanda leaves Doctor Strange, and as she's by herself, like my first theory suggests, she is descending into madness, and the world that she thinks is all inside of her head, she, at the end of the series, has to face the facts that the world is not just in her head, and that she is actually harming the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and has actually recreated Vision, thus the reason why he is back. So basically, just a rundown of this theory is, when she asks Doctor Strange for help, Doctor Strange tells her to go inside of her own mind, and when she does, instead of her actually just creating this world inside of her mind, she accidentally creates the virtual world in real life. So that's just an easier way of just showing that Wanda didn't do this on purpose. She actually did this by accident, but now since the world is there, why not take advantage of it? But with Vision being back, that leads me into my fifth theory, that Wanda creates Vision using the Mind Stone at the beginning of the series. Now, everyone is already speculating this. I haven't read any theories, and I have not watched any theory videos on WandaVision. This is all my very own opinion, but I think that Wanda has actually created Vision using the Mind Stone at the beginning of the series. Now, in the trailer, we see that the Mind Stone is briefly there, and Wanda is in the same robes that she had on at the post-credit scene of the Captain America Winter Soldier film. This theory is also pretty short. It's not long at all. It doesn't have this big elaborate plan. But I think maybe before she creates this world, she imagines the Mind Stone and creates Vision. Like my fourth theory suggests, anything that she imagined, anything that goes on in her head may come to life inside of the real world. So with her creating the Mind Stone, that then can probably create the Mind Stone in real life. Now it is just far out there because stones are destroyed in the timeline that Wanda is inhabited. But we do know that other timelines are open since Loki is back in his own Disney Plus show. So maybe she imagines the Mind Stone in a different timeline, like in Captain America the Winter Soldier, where she got her powers from. The Mind Stone was there. So maybe she's imagining herself back there in that Hydra base where the Mind Stone is there, and she creates Vision using that Mind Stone from 2014. So in relation to my fourth theory, she creates the world and Vision is the first person to inhabit it. She then goes into the world, which kicks off the series with their marriage in the 50s. That is how that theory is going to go, with Wanda taking the Mind Stone from 2014, creating Vision with it, and then the series kick off with their marriage in the 50s. Now, all of this can be wrong, like, it's a theory, obviously, but I know a lot of people have been saying something about this great, awesome villain, Nightmare. And that leads me into my final theory, my sixth theory, has got to go to Wanda is being controlled. Wanda may be being controlled. Like, a lot of people have been saying this, but I honestly don't think that she might be being controlled. Like, this is a theory that I am least sure about. But yes, from the trailer, we do hear people saying, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Then we also see people in, like, beehive costumes coming out of nowhere. We see colorful items showing up in the 50s where it's all black and white. So, you know, we don't know if somebody's actually doing this to Wanda or she's just doing this by herself by accident. She doesn't even know that she's doing it. But I do believe that she is actually the one that's in control the entire time. But this is just a theory. And yeah, that could be a possibility that somebody is controlling her. Maybe this is Nightmare and he can lead into Doctor Strange 2 as the villain. So with the theory of Nightmare controlling Wanda and having her create the world for him, Doctor Strange can definitely show up in the finale, and that can lead us into Spider-Man 3, opening up maybe the multiverse, which then leads into Doctor Strange 2 of 2022. Now, like I said, this is a theory that I am least sure about. All of these theories may be false, which should be clear because of the name theory, but I definitely believe that 5 out of 6 of these theories may be true. WandaVision is finally coming out on Friday, and it's kind of a weird phenomenon because we've had no MCU content for a whole year. So I honestly cannot expect most of these theories to happen, but I am definitely excited, absolutely. So those were my theories. Let's just go down a run of all of my theories and how big of a possibility I think that theory will happen. Theory number 1, Wanda has lost control and created this virtual world. That's a 10 out of 10. That is definitely, I believe that is definitely going to happen. I don't know if it's to be true, but I believe it definitely is going to happen. Theory number 2, Wanda and Doctor Strange are working together. This show is just a mission. I will say that this is a 5 out of 10 chance of happening. I do believe that maybe at the end of the show we do find out that Doctor Strange sent her on this mission, but maybe not. Theory number 3, Wanda's world is connected to the quantum realm. I definitely believe this. It's not a 10 out of 10, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I definitely believe that Wanda's world is connected to the quantum realm, which will explain the timeline and the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, 80s, all of that. That will explain that, in my opinion. That's what I believe. Theory number 4, Wanda asks Doctor Strange for help. I think that this is an 8 out of 10 chance that is actually a big possibility. Though we may not see Doctor Strange, they will probably reference Doctor Strange and how he actually leads into this show. And theory number 5, we have Wanda creates Vision using the Mind Stone at the beginning of the series from 2014. I absolutely think that this is going to happen. I say that this is a 10 out of 10. This is most definitely, I think that she is going to create Vision using the Mind Stone. So yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10. And my final theory, Wanda is being controlled. I gotta say, it's a 3 out of 10 for me. Like, even though it's on my list for theories, I gotta say I'm not so sure about this one. So if it comes true, you heard it here. You heard it here. Wanda is being controlled. If it comes true, SW Nation said it first. I hope I did, because I haven't watched any theory videos on WandaVision. But yes, theory 6, Wanda is being controlled by Nightmare to create this whole entire virtual world. Okay, so comment down below which theory is your favorite and what are your theories for WandaVision? Which theory do you think is the worst, or which theory do you think will come true? Click that playlist up above for all Marvel content that I have on my channel if you are a fan, which you probably are. That's why you're watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
We just don't know what to expect.